Of Divas Beauty Supplies.
Owner of African Supermart.
The owner of Sawana Import and Global Grocery.
I'm the manager of Bantaba Restaurant.
This is my boutique. It's Anna's Closet.
Money does not go on three.
No matter how long I live in America, Gambia is my home. That's what I have.
Mangi judo fast njaga choy. Mangi grow up in Bakau.
Business in United States, not only in the US, everywhere in the world right now, business is challenged.
Looking into many different kinds of businesses, I think this is the best thing to do, and it's really working out for me.
I've been here for about 16 years.
I came here in 1989.
I have like 3-4 jobs that I do.
My advice is for other young Gambians to focus on what they want to do. Education is the key to everything.
Have a vision, have a purpose, and don't let anybody tell you you will never succeed.
I am Anna Sayang.
Ibu Bah.
Adrian Daidafe.
Ulay Musayus.
Ibrahim Adiba.
Mohamed Sawane.
Fatu Diba.
Abdullah Ilo.
Jalimari Jubate.
I'm very proud.
I am proud.
I am a proud Gambian.
Embracing this ground, my people, my town, celebrating with this sound. We are feeling some type of
aware that the council has a project called the Kanifing Environmental Transformation Program, okay? That is being sponsored or funded by the European Union. And part of the components of the project is a community radio. Today we are gathered here today to inform the public about developments with regards to the community radio. We feel it's a responsibility to do that at every level, and that is why we invited members of the press. This is why we invited the members of the press to ensure that the public is kept informed. Without wasting much time, I want to recognize the presence of members of parliament within the municipality, officials of the KEPT project, and officials of the council, and other invited guests here present to witness this important press conference. And I want to call on the project manager of the KEPT project, Mr. Lamin Sanya, to give a brief statement as to why we converged here this morning. Mr. Sanya.
Good morning, members of the parliament. Good morning to our distinguished personalities, the press. We regret to announce that the inauguration of the radio station, the People's Radio, has been cancelled due to the fact that we have received a communication from the Bureau of Public Utility Regulation Authority informing us that we cannot inaugurate simply because we don't have operational license. That being the case, the project team canceled the inaugurations. We would like to thank everybody who have come over to grace the occasions with us. We also want to thank the EU for providing us the funding, and also the partners, Peterborough City Council and Opportunity Peterborough, for collaborating with the councils and the project team. With the council and the project team to ensure that we are able to procure the radio equipments and then contract it out to the contractor to fix it, and then he was able to do it on time. We would also like to thank the leadership, under the dynamic leadership of the Lord Mayor and the management and the General Council, who have provided us of the facility, the building facility. The project is just only to installed equipment and the radio materials. But under the dynamic leadership of the Lord Mayor, they have provided us the building that we have renovated to ensure that the equipments are fixed for the radio to be operational. So the People's Radio, the ultimate objective is to promote sustainable living. That's why we are able to continue to ensure that the infrastructure is put in place. Our initial objective is to sort of inaugurate and hand over the keys to the Kanifing Municipal Council as a project, and the KMC will continue following up the operational license from the Minister of Information. We were informed that there is a general embargo on operational license, and that being the case, we will not be able to inaugurate the radio station today. So that being the case, we will not be able to inaugurate today, but however, we will want to invite the media to go inside and then inspect the facilities. With me, I have the director of the project, who is also going to shed some lights on what actually has happened. Mr. Director, please.
Good morning, everyone. First of all, I would like to thank the media for turning up on this event. I would also like to thank the authorities present, starting from the members of parliament, the councillors, the AI companies, people and of KMC, and everybody present, both men and women, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, basically, as we all know, we have a project. The project is called Kanifing Environmental Transformation Program Project. It is financed by the European Union under its Sustainable Cities mechanism. It is a project geared to improve the lives and livelihoods of people living within the municipality. And Kanifing competed regionally on all throughout Africa, and it was a global call. But on the Africa component, Kanifing was able to have funding. One of those components in the funding is to create a radio station where sustainable living practices would be promoted. What do they mean by sustainable living practices? Where people would talk about their waste, they would talk about other issues happening with their community and promoting other activities in their community, and complaining. If they have a complaint against the council, they could call the complaint management system, which is lodged at the radio to complain. We as a project, we have a timeline, we have deliverables. We have a whole year to build a radio station and hand it over to Kanifing Municipality, and they would use it for 2 years. And for that 2 years, we're going to monitor and take some data. And that data would be the feedback of our achievements, or to show whether the radio station is performing to the interest of its people. And basically, we have completed that. And we've applied for a license since in July, and it's not forthcoming. We understand that there is an embargo. We went all throughout the processes. But at present, the most inherent point is it is completed, it is built, and it needs to be handed over to the municipality. And that's why this event was organized today, to hand the radio over to the municipality. And fortunately, government has an embargo. We do understand on that. We did ask for an exception, and it was not forthcoming. But basically, this is a people's radio, and it is for the people. And we've done our job, and thank you for that. You are all invited to see, to show that we have completed the task that we've been given, that the establishment has been established. The entity has been established. Thank you.
Thank you, project manager, and thank you, director of the project, for clearing some of the issues that we wanted the public to know. And that is why we gathered here this morning, to ensure that the right information is delivered to the people. Next on the agenda will be, we'll invite members of the press and get into the studio for inspection, please.
Where are the journalists? Yeah, you start, please. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Sani. Knowing that the government have an embargo regarding radio station and others, so what is the reason behind the cancellation of this inauguration, please?
Yeah, thank you very much. I think that's a very clear question. As you highlighted it, when we applied in July, we went through the process from the Bureau to the Minister of Information. And at the Minister of Information, we were informed that there is a general embargo on the operational license. Then from there, we had to stop. Another question?
Thank you very much, sir. The name of the radio is the... So we want to know something about the radio, what the idea is, and what our program is bring.
Yeah, thank you very much. As I said earlier on, the radio is to promote sustainable living. KNC, when we were conceptualizing the project, we have an understanding that there is still a gap in order to better effectively communicate with the residents of this municipality. And then one of our key challenges is environmental sanitation. We felt it is important that we have our own radio stations where we can sensitize and educate the residents of this municipality on environmental issues. Yes, we have provided a fleet of vehicles to collect. We have provided collection mechanisms, but yet still the attitudinal change is still very lacking. So the waste management strategy, the first pillar of the waste management strategy is about information, education, and communication in order to change the mindset of the people. So we felt in order to implement or achieve this pillar of our waste management strategy, we ought to have a radio station. Thank you very much for that question. As of now, that decision has to be with the Kanifing Municipal Council. The project has procured and installed all the equipment of the radio stations, and then that decision is now left with the council. The project has procured and installed all the equipment of the radio stations, and the council have to decide now whether they are going to wait on the operational license, which I think that's what they are going to do, to wait on the government until they provide them the operational license. But we will continue to explore other avenues as well. Thank you very much.
So what is the effect of the assistant
Thank you. The access of information, well, I think it's not quite the same with this trend. Embargo is different from the access that is empowering the media to have information. With that bill, you can ask questions from anybody in government offices and they cannot deny you. If they deny you, then they are going against a law. But what we are seeing now is a sort of anti-press freedom. We all know that there is an organization in the world that assess countries' access and freedom of expression and freedom of media annually. So the fact that there is an embargo on expansion of televisions and radios in the Gambia, that is not good for us. That will only put us down the ladder of the press freedom ladders, because countries' press freedom is assessed by the medium that and the way they operate. So now if we are putting an embargo on expansion of mediums like radios and televisions for the past 2 years, and you have a beautiful complex like this, the People's FM, among many others that cannot have their airways from government, that is really very disappointing. But since it's an embargo, people's should be able to find ways around it. As a member of parliament, yes, I can do my own investigations and find out the reasons why, either by posing a question directly to the minister responsible or walk into the offices and find out what is responsible. But what I can tell you is I completely disagree with the embargo. It is not telling well on our record worldwide. And I have no doubt that in 2023, when the rate comes out, Gambia will really fall below the standards. It has never come to my attention, so I have not taken any measures against it, like I told you. I know there is an embargo. There are people who are interested in opening the radio stations and television stations, and they are faced by the embargo from Pura. But now it's becoming very alarming now. I think all of us are stakeholders, and we all have to do something about it, from the point of parliament and from civil society, and also the umbrella organization of media in this country, Gambia Press Union. I think we should all collectively take this as a matter of urgency, so that the country's press freedom cannot be tampered by people who want to trample on people's right. This is also against people's right. People have right to information, and different information for that matter. If selection or limitation is done to the mediums, then that they are really trampling on people's right. And I think it's also be a matter for the National Human Rights Commission, because this is a rights issue. So it should be the business of everybody to make sure that this uncalled for embargo should come to an end now. Certainly I will do that. Way back in 6 years ago, when I took my oath in the National Assembly, I said, yes, my first constituency is Serekunda West, but my second constituency is the media. As you all know, I am part and parcel of the media, and I will always push the agenda of media. In 2 days' time, the session, this budget session will wrap up, and usually it wraps up with adjournment debates. There may not be any opportunity of asking parliamentary questions, but then adjournment debates are available that members can talk about any issue, and relevant ministries have to be present to respond to those calls. So certainly, come Thursday, if I take the floor of the National Assembly, I will definitely talk about it. Thank you.
Ngekonta abaraka membe kerim babu wolom aka kenu nyameng niko aka kenu nyameng nunto adol be nyaadile parce que niamoy ko ado nen ciosano ka hadama dingole signify ite mu jumale ite bota jumale bala wol fanal bota jumale fanal bala
ñu na lan dekil sa ada aso ciosan aka kenu nyameng num na amé dem
babu ko ne dinni ngo jibe e ko aka lon ko yemem fo
xama sa ada aso ciosan motax Gambian Talents TV ak Ibu ak Babu ñu tok ñu ne il faut ñu dund sun azaz asun ciosan
tuntu alfal kela din bayali ke kuluno nyaadile ke kulu nyaadile fo butero lom bang fodum e ka dumoro le dila bang fo ka mum felle dila ñu programme le biwo be sene andi la
kon kene ku neka bo bu ke xam sa azaz ciosan fu nga baye ko samma fu nga baye ko
nunto alfalu ila sunkurundi wole ke pare nyaadile ila dum fengol fanal be nyaadile ko mum dum fen sifal le fanal dum ñu programme le fanal be witandila
nena lan ku wati sa ande an wodan nga fekk fofam
tel dindi mankaje ke balka julo city yiro balay ka fa finja julo ga ko be siring e be ko jijala ko mol bitay do tari ko fala dindi woli
lu do am demba lu tax amatu tay la motax top suñu nasadan faté sun ada accan
ak kenu ñameng
ada accan ak kenu ñam top lañu ahamas bu jot judom waxtu be judom ñaar waxtu fan la mo amé ci Gambian Talents TV Ibula ak Babu